Chidi, a diligent laundryman, starts his day in the bustling streets of Lagos, where he's known for his impeccable skills and amiable personality. His modest income barely covers his needs, but his optimism keeps him afloat. One day he's hired by Clara, the elegant wife of a wealthy businessman, Mr. Ade, to handle their laundry. Clara's home is an embodiment of luxury, but her eyes betray an emptiness that hints at loneliness. Chidi's professionalism and charm leave a lasting impression, setting the stage for an unexpected connection. Clara's life seems perfect on the surface, but her opulent mansion feels more like a prison. Her husband, Mr. Ade, is always away on business, leaving her to battle solitude. Clara begins to look forward to Chidi's weekly visits, finding solace in their brief exchanges. She is struck by his simplicity and warmth, a stark contrast to her cold and distant marriage. Unbeknownst to them, a spark begins to ignite. What begins as polite small talk soon evolves into deeper conversations. Clara shares snippets of her life, revealing her struggles and unmet desires. Chidi, though hesitant at first, opens up about his dreams of owning a dry cleaning business. Their shared vulnerabilities create a bond that neither anticipated. Chidi's weekly visits now feel like an escape for both of them. One rainy afternoon, Clara invites Chidi inside for tea after noticing him drenched from the storm. Their conversation takes a more personal turn, and the walls between them start to crumble. Clara's intentions blur as she begins to see Chidi not just as a laundryman but as someone who understands her. Chidi, too, finds himself drawn to her elegance and vulnerability. Despite his growing sense of unease, the line between client and confidant is crossed when Clara impulsively kisses Chidi during one of his visits. Shocked and conflicted, Chidi initially pulls away but soon succumbs to his feelings. The affair begins in secret, fueled by passion and their mutual longing for connection. However, both are acutely aware of the risks involved. Their affair thrives in the shadows, with stolen moments and whispered promises. Clara and Chidi's chemistry is undeniable, but paranoia starts to creep in. Clara's maid begins to notice her unusual behavior, and Chidi grows wary of prying eyes in the neighborhood. Their relationship becomes a dangerous balancing act. Mrs. Benson, a nosy neighbor, starts paying attention to Clara's interactions with Chidi. She observes their lingering gazes and frequent meetings, and her curiosity turns into suspicion. Meanwhile, Clara and Chidi remain oblivious to the growing threat as they continue to meet in secret. Unannounced, Mr. Ade returns from a business trip, throwing Clara and Chidi into panic. During one visit, Chidi narrowly escapes being caught, leaving Clara shaken. Mr. Ade's presence adds tension to the household, as his controlling demeanor and dismissive attitude toward Clara become apparent. Clara's loneliness deepens, pushing her further into Chidi's arms. Mrs. Benson confronts Clara with photographic evidence of her affair, demanding hush money to keep her silence. Clara, terrified of the scandal, agrees to pay but struggles to hide her growing anxiety. Chidi, unaware of the blackmail, notices Clara's erratic behavior and begins to fear their secret is at risk. Chidi starts questioning the sustainability of their relationship. Torn between his feelings for Clara and the fear of losing everything, he contemplates ending the affair. Clara, desperate to keep him, assures him that they can manage the risks, but Chidi's doubts linger. In her panic, Clara accidentally leaves behind an incriminating text message on her phone, which Mr. Ade discovers. Though cryptic, the message plants a seed of suspicion in him. He begins quietly investigating, piecing together the clues. The pressure begins to strain Clara and Chidi's relationship. Clara's guilt and fear clash with her desire to hold on to Chidi, while Chidi becomes increasingly distant. Their once passionate connection starts to unravel under the weight of their secret. Mr. Ade receives anonymous evidence of the affair, likely from Mrs. Benson, and confronts Clara. Furious and humiliated, he demands answers, leaving Clara in tears. Chidi's name is dragged into the confrontation, setting the stage for an explosive fallout. News of the affair spreads quickly, fueled by gossip and speculation. Chitty's reputation takes a nosedive as his clients begin to sever ties. Clara, too, faces public scrutiny, with whispers and judgment following her wherever she goes. Both realize the magnitude of their actions. In a shocking twist, Clara discovers that Mr. Ade has been unfaithful as well, maintaining a long-term affair with his secretary. This revelation shifts the narrative, complicating the moral dynamics and forcing Mr. Ade to confront his own hypocrisy. Chitty's business collapses under the weight of the scandal. Struggling to make ends meet, he retreats into isolation. His dreams of a better life are shattered, leaving him to ponder the consequences of his choices and the love that led to his downfall. Clara decides to leave her marriage, realizing that her affair was a symptom of deeper issues in her life. She begins a journey of self-discovery, seeking therapy and building a new life independent of Mr. Ade's wealth and control. Mr. Ade faces backlash in his business and personal life as his own secrets come to light. He is forced to confront his role in the collapse of his marriage and the toxic dynamics that defined it. His stoic facade begins to crack, revealing a man grappling with regret. Months later, Clara and Chitty cross paths by chance. Their interaction is bittersweet, marked by apologies, lingering emotions, and a mutual acknowledgement of the pain they caused each other and themselves. They part ways changed but wiser,